If there was just 3 emails you could send that would generate seller leads, would you send them? That's exactly what we're covering in This Week in Marketing.
Today, we're going to explore a database email strategy that generated 45 directly attributable listing leads for a team in Alabama in a single month. Welcome to This Week in Marketing. My name is Jason Pantana. I'm a business coach and national speaker with Tom Ferry, and I am stoked for today's conversation. Now, if you're new to our channel, please make sure to head on over, press that big red subscribe button, and while you're there, go ahead and tap that bell to receive notifications for whenever we publish new content. And please, last ask, please smash the like button if this content resonates with you today. I am super pumped for this topic today, but first, let's talk about some FAQs and FYIs before we dive into the nuts and bolts of how to execute this strategy. For starters, I am not talking about triggered emails, listing alerts, or one-on-one regular everyday emails. I'm talking about bulk email campaigns, mass email campaigns to a large list, which means you're going to need some type of an email service provider. It could be like BombBomb, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Aweber, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign. There are lots of them out there. Do some research and find one that's a good, reputable company to help deliver your mass email campaigns. And last, just some good old housekeeping before we dive off into the topic is don't spam people. There are a lot of laws and rules and regulations around email that I'm not going to dive into in a lot of detail today. I'm putting that onus of responsibility onto you to know the rules and the law when it comes to email. But suffice it to say, don't spam people. I'm a huge fan, a big proponent of double opt-in. In other words, when somebody subscribes to be a part of your email list, literally you kick back an email to them to verify their email address. And again, double opt-in to say, yes, I definitely want to receive these emails. Why? Well, because ultimately the deliverability of your email campaigns is largely determined by how your list of recipients interact with your emails. Do they or don't they open them? Do they or don't they click through them? Do they or don't they reply to your emails or forward to a friend? Do they complain about your emails? Do they opt out? Do they mark it as spam? Every action they take, good or bad, every inaction they take, good or bad, is going to have a reflection on what's called your sender score. In other words, your sender reputation. In other words, the deliverability of your email is centered around how does your list interact with it. So, ergo, hence, you should send it to people who want to receive your emails. Enough said, right? I am super excited to dive into this email strategy, which we are dubbing the ultimate email trifecta. Trifecta meaning 3. 3 what? 3 emails. 3 emails? How often? Over what span of time, Jason? 3 emails a week. And you're like, jaw drop, a week? That's too many emails, Jason. Well, get this. HubSpot says that 35% of marketers in all industries, all verticals aggregated together, 35% of all marketers send between 3 and 5 emails to their various lists every single week. But Jason, again, it's too much email. Wait, suspend your disbelief, because I'm going to go through a case study today of exactly what Matt Curtis Real Estate, the largest and most successful team in all the state of Alabama, is doing and has been doing for months and months to their database, a large size database, and the results aren't lying. So suspend your disbelief, and maybe I would look at email as a marketing channel. I think a lot of people think email is transactional, not exclusively. Look at email marketing as a space for distributing and delivering valuable content. If your emails are truly like, you put the love into them, they're valuable, people are going to want to get that stuff. But if the emails are canned or they're generic and they don't really add much substance, then I can understand why 3 to 5 emails a week would be too much. But I want you to take this ride with me, go with me, and suspend your disbelief. Now, let's peel back the layers of the onion of what Matt Curtis Real Estate is doing every single month with their email list. I'll give you the basic stats. You already heard the big one at the beginning, which is that they generated in a single month 45 directly attributable listing leads. There's actually other listing inquiries that came in through other means that were likely partially attributable to the email campaign. But 45 in 1 month alone, but you're like, was it just a fluke? Was it just that 1 month? No, it's not. He's been doing it for several months. I'm going to go off of the very first month, but the results have continued every single month subsequently. So we're going to talk today about his stats from December of 2021, but he's continued in January, February, March, and now we're in April, and he continues, and the stats have held true. So we're going to use 1 month as a sample, but the stats have held true. So 45 directly attributable listing leads in 1 month, sending 3 emails a week, every week the month of December. Guess what? They generated 12,000 unique clicks. They generated over 40,000 total clicks, but people actually clicked on various calls to action, buttons, photos, images, content, read more, links, and all that stuff in the emails. They had a great interaction rate. But you're like, I'm sure everybody opted out. Actually, they had a 0.3% opt-out rate over the month, which, by the way, is, if you look at industry stats, is way below the norm. Well, something else he must have a small database he's mailing to. Actually, no, it's an enormous list. He has a 55,000 person email list. 55,000 people, oh my goodness. What is that? Well, it's a combination of past clients, sphere of influence, and leads he's generated over the course of the last several years through Facebook ads, Google ads, open houses, and whatnot. Everybody's opted in, but it is a large database. So we're dealing with a large data set. Now, we've had other coaching members who have already tested this strategy with much smaller databases, and they're seeing a very similar return proportionately to the size of their list, how often they email, and how many actual inquiries about listing they get. So look, the proof is here. The question is, are you going to make the emails and send them out? All right, now let's dive into the ultimate email trifecta, and it's 3 emails a week. And those emails, I'm going to tell you now, go out on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays every week. Matt Curtis sends out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is always a CTA, a call to action. We'll talk about Wednesday and Friday next, but Monday is always a direct ask and inviting you into a listing opportunity call to action. You may think of the book Jab, Jab, Right Hook, where Gary Vaynerchuk talks about jab, jab, like give, and then call to action. Matt's actually switching the order, so to speak, where it's a right hook on Monday and then a jab, jab. Now, riddle me this, because I want to talk about why. Riddle me this. When do you think most households discuss real estate matters or think about their next steps in real estate? And I'd love to know what you think in a comment below. But when do you think? Because I think it's probably most likely to occur over the weekend. Why? Because most people are going to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're hustling, running around, doing their everyday tasks and so forth, and they're tired and they go to bed. And then Saturday hits, and for most people, they have an opportunity to start thinking about projects around the house, things they want to do. Do we even want to do this project? Should we just sell the house? And all of a sudden, they're mulling over real estate decisions about buying, selling, investing, and things like that. And so Matt waits until Monday morning to drop a call to action, essentially cashing in on all the conversations they've been having over the weekend with a specific call to action. He is typically, in terms of the logistics of this, he's giving them an offer like reply to this email, click to fill out this web form or questionnaire, click this link to book a consultation, or specific direct asks. It is a straight up call to action email. One of my favorites was at the beginning of the year, it just said, "Hi, Jason," in the email I got. It's always personalized. "Hi, Jason, quick question. Are you planning to sell your home in 2022? Question mark. That email alone generated so many replies. Yes, we're thinking about it. Yes, 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 yes. And it generated listing inquiry after listing inquiry, or I should say listing conversation. Like, not everybody's going to sell their house. But if we can get people to reach out to you about the possibility of selling your house, that to me is a win. So Mondays are straight up listing focused calls to action. Download a seller guide, schedule a consultation, reply to this email if you're in, fill out this questionnaire, those types of actions. Another one of my favorite emails he sent out, the subject line read, "What's gone up $100,000 in 2 years? Question mark. And then when you read the email, it basically says the average home value in Madison, which is their area of Alabama. And then it goes through a year-over-year analysis of here's 2020, here's 2021, here's 2022, and it shows the trajectory of where values are going. And then the call to action was hyperlinked text that simply said, learn what that means for you. You click it, it goes to their website, and it gives you an opportunity to connect with an agent at the office to get an actual customized home value. So Mondays is all about calling people into action. Why Mondays? Because they're coming fresh off the conversations they likely have been having in their households on the weekend. Next up is the Wednesday email, which is what we call featured content or a featured video, and it's super simple. It's basically an email to the entire list where Matt just gives a valuable video, and he's typically sharing pro tips, real estate advice, and just helping consumers make better decisions about buying, selling, and investing in real estate. It's a value add, it's a value add, it's a value add. So Monday is that CTA, the call to action, but Wednesday is just a give. And if you look at the email campaigns, and I'll go through some of the video topics he hits on in just a second, but if you actually were to look at the email campaign, it's very clean, very minimalistic, very simple. Monday is pretty much just text. There's really not much to it. It's a simple, straightforward email. Wednesday has a design. It's branded to his company colors and his logo and so forth, but it's simple. It's optimized for mobile viewership. Guess what? most of the people on your email list are looking at your emails on a mobile device. And so you need to make sure that, okay, is my email campaign optimized for mobile viewership? What does that mean? Well, that means don't have like the HTML sidebar columns and all the crazy layout stuff. That doesn't work on mobile viewing. You need a single feed. So in other words, video at the top, if there's anything else, it goes down the feed because people scroll through their emails. You also need to make sure the text is relatively large, that the buttons are easy to tap and press, that the big play button is a big fat play button in the middle of the video, that if I tap it, it opens up YouTube or the video embedded in a blog post where I can go watch that video. It needs to be mobile optimized, and that's what Matt does with every one of his campaigns. So for example, his videos cover topics like taxes and selling your home, how to make a winning purchase offer, home improvements to avoid. And I love that one. This is a sidebar, but it's like, it's not home improvements to do, it's home improvements to avoid. And sometimes people are much more likely to click and watch when you appeal to a negative, because just this is extra information, but most people are more motivated by a fear of loss, it's called loss aversion, than they are by the possibility of gains. So sometimes if you paint that negative space, it's a way to provide valuable information and improve your click-through performance and view rate and all that kind of fun stuff. So he talks about home improvements to avoid. He also talks about impacts of rising interest rates. Again, because he makes so much video content, he has the ability to be hyper-focused on what are the issues of the day, not the month, not the quarter, the day, because that's how much video content he's operationalized to make video first content, so he can be the knowledge broker on the leading edge of all the issues impacting buyers and sellers in his local marketplace. He has an email he sent out not long ago that I really liked. The video topic was millennials don't stay a renter. I love that piece where it literally calls out millennials don't stay a renter, and he gives them constructive advice on what steps they should take to get in the game of home ownership. Finally, he talks about, is it actually a buyer's market, which is something Tom Ferry's been talking about quite a bit, where it's like anybody who's bought real estate in the last couple of years has made money in terms of appreciation. And so we talk about it being a seller's market, but in the sense that the gains are there for you as a buyer, it's kind of a buyer's market. So it's a contrarian point of view. But these are the kinds of topics he's covering in his videos. Nothing salesy, nothing promotional, straight up give, value, value, value. This is why his opt-out rate is only 0.3%. It's because he's the knowledge broker. And you know what? If you send emails with great, valuable content, people are going to open them, they're going to click through them, and they're going to like them. And last but not least, on Friday, Matt sends out what would be basically called a newsletter or a digest. He calls it a weekly real estate roundup. And basically, it's a newsletter. It's the recap of all the content, all the happenings, all the important FYIs that his database needs to hear from him. It's a roundup of all those things for the entire week in one email, and it goes out on Friday. Now, Fridays are coincidentally the highest open rates of any email anywhere. Like, that's the stat. Fridays are the best day to get the largest open rate. Saturdays are the lowest. And so sending a newsletter, a roundup of here's everything that happened this week and here's what we're doing going into the weekend, Friday just makes sense for a recap, a roundup, a digest, a newsletter, whatever you want to call it. Again, optimized for mobile, so a single feed to scroll. None of those like right-hand, left-hand sidebars or fancy HTMLs, because people don't look at it on a computer. They're looking at it on their mobile device. But the roundup has been highly effective for Matt, and it is amazing for Matt in terms of click-through performance, open rates, shares, and so forth. Now, to give you sort of a mental picture of how it's laid out, I want to share with you the different sections that he follows, because this is a newsletter. Monday was a call to action, so it's just one thing. Here's the call to action. It's mostly text-based. Wednesday was it's called dedicated content or a featured video. It's that main flagship video that's going to be front and center above the fold that really we want one thing. We want you to click it and watch it. That's how it's sent. It's dedicated content. But Friday is a little bit different. Friday is kind of a pick out of the buffet, pick what you want, look what you want, read what you want. It's a best of all put together. Here are the sections Matt includes in his emails. At the very top, it's another featured video, but it's not as big as on Wednesday. It's just kind of a small sliver for a video up top. He wants to lead with value. It's a different video from the one he provided on Wednesday. Section 2 is kind of a placeholder for news and announcements. Now, sometimes they're offering like a seller workshop or a home buyer seminar or webinar, or sometimes they want to promote a new program they have. Maybe it's some type of a searching for your home, like an off-market matchmaker type of product or program, or something they're doing for the consumer. They use that second section as a placeholder for announcing those upcoming opportunities where they're going to give something valuable to consumers, whether it's a product, a service, a training, something along those lines. Section 3 is where Matt showcases his latest listings. Now, he only shows 3 at a time. So literally it's 1, 2, 3, view all listings. If you have a lot of listings, One, congratulations. That's spectacular. I'm happy for you. However, you want to be conservative in terms of not utilizing too much of the screen real estate. If I have row after row after row of listings, people are going to stop scrolling and they're going to miss other valuable sections. A roundup is basically hyperlinking to, if you want more on this, go here. If you want more on this, go here. If you want more on this, go here. So just 1, 2, 3, view all listings or view more listings, something like that. Section 4 is another featured video. Again, not the same one as Wednesday. How does Matt achieve this? He makes a lot of videos, things we've talked about many, many times. You need content. Content, as I have said before, is like having arrows for a bow. A bow without arrows is quite useless, but a bow with arrows can do something, right? In the same regard, email is just a marketing channel. And a marketing channel without having content to market out is not very effective. You need content, specifically, you need video content. Allow me to get off my soapbox and get back onto the topic. Section 5 for Matt is local happenings. This is a heavy favorite. He kind of puts it toward the bottom because it gets people trained to scroll down to the local happenings. Again, it's Friday, so we're going into the weekend, and it's laid out similar to how he does the listings. So the listings, it was 1, 2, 3 featured listings. Local happenings, it's typically 1, 2, 3, and then see more or view all. And then here's the trick. You want to link to a blog post on your website. So you should also be producing a blog that has all the happenings coming up this weekend or next week or whatever in your area, and it's all on your blog post. So you're driving to your website and building that SEO at the same time. And then after that last section, section 5, he has typically a soft CTA, not a strong CTA. It's okay to put soft CTAs, like just a little link to like book a listing consultation or whatever kind of a call to action you want to invite people into. Maybe they want to search for homes or search for a specific type of home or search in a specific area, or they want to get a home valuation, or they want to schedule a listing consultation. It's okay to interweave little soft CTAs in between the sections. But again, that's not an excuse or a replacement for that Monday email, because one of the challenges a lot of email newsletters face, and this is like, if you read email marketing research, this is what they say. There's so many things to click on, the actual CTAs get buried in all the content. And so that's why that Monday email with the call to action, where it's a single call to action, it's just one thing, it's the thing I want you to do, is super clear. It focuses email viewers into taking that specific action. Like I said from the get-go, you're not sending enough emails, not even close. In fact, if you were to poll a bunch of different marketers from all types of businesses, they have long heralded email as one of the greatest marketing channels ever, and I want to see you deploy it and use it effectively in your business, just like Matt Curtis is doing down in Alabama. Now, you may think like, well, I don't know if I could start with Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Fine. Start with Friday. Start with Monday. Add one on next. Whatever makes sense for you to grow your business with email marketing, because I just want to see you generate results, specifically listing lead results, in your business with email. Now, if this has been a useful training, it would mean a lot to us if you could give us a like down below. And please, please, please share your thoughts. Put a comment down below. Tag somebody, bring them into the conversation, ask questions, and let us know what other future trainings we should deliver here on This Week in Marketing. Make sure to follow Tom across all of his social media channels, and I'd love to connect with you also. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it. I want to be a resource for you, and I want to see you grow your business with marketing. Until then, I'll see you next week on This Week in Marketing. Have a great day.